Hey all, Kyle here, AA0Z. Welcome to the channel. I was down in Fort Myers recently and I needed some zip cord for a project that I was working on. So I put into Google search zip cord and the zip code that I was in, and a Radio Shack popped up. So I literally got in the car right away and went down there because I have never been in a Radio Shack in the last 20 years or so. So I walked in and introduced myself to the guy working behind the counter, and come to find out he was a ham radio operator. And we talked about everything from TRS-80s to Tandy 1000 TXs, our first computer. Basically had a 30-minute conversation. Down in the comments below, I want to hear your best Radio Shack story. I know that there's Radio Shacks still around, but I want to hear your best Radio Shack story in the comments. But I toured the location and did some video. I'm going to overdub some video of me because in the background there was some music playing and I can't play the music that was playing on YouTube. So here is my journey to the Radio Shack in Fort Myers, Florida. Enjoy. Hey guys, AA0Z, Kyle here, and I am still in Fort Myers. I was working on a project and needed some automotive zip line, you know, the two conductor black and red line DC cable, and went to the internet and did a search, and look what I found in Fort Myers. Unbelievable. It's a Radio Shack. Let's go inside. All right, here we are starting along the back wall. There is a myriad of appliances along the back wall, but here is one of the large walls. It was a rectangular shape Radio Shack, and it had two large walls that merchandise was on. Got some resistors and capacitors, a lot of heat shrink for cabling. There's some computer fans. Had this kiosk there that had some heat shrink on it, and looks like some audio adapters, 4th inch, 8th inch adapters. Here's some laptop stuff. Had quite a few things for converting HDMI to DVI and VGA, if anybody uses that anymore. Cables, HDMI cables. There's some more video adapters, USB adapters, and then a recordable DVD, which was crazy. I don't know if anybody uses those anymore. Some mice. And then here's some ham radio stuff, but I'm going to get into more of that later. Another kiosk with USB cables. Here's some some coax adapters and wire for, you know, your coax needs. Speakers, TV mounts, microphones, karaoke machine. Every Radio Shack needs a karaoke machine. Headphones, and then some speakers and boom boxes. Remember boom boxes? So that was video one. This is the other wall, the opposite wall, and this had a lot of electronics, you know, resistors, capacitors, different things that for building, you know, mocking up breadboards. I saw some breadboards in there. Some fuses there I'm seeing. There's some fuse blocks, and then there's some hookup wire down below with some speaker wire, and we had some wire strippers and soldering irons, which were good to see there, along with solder and paste and tips. So had a whole wall of some good soldering stuff. There was some radios there. Sure, that was some FRS or GMRS radio. Microphones, more panel mounts. That opposite wall there was just full of cell phone stuff. There's some cigarette lighter adapters or accessory, 12-volt accessory. There was quite a bit of wire there. Some power inverters. And then here is the amateur radio stuff. So this was a Tram 2-meter 440 antenna. And as you walk up the wall here, there was quite a bit of adapters. SO239 adapters, F connectors, SOPL239 adapters, barrel connectors, BNC adapters. Actually saw a PL259 crimp-on that was there. There it is right there. So if you were in a pinch and needed some adapters, Radio Shack had you covered. Just a small section of, probably tailored to the CBer, but had some amateur radio stuff. So that was the things in the Radio Shack. And that was the Radio Shack experience.